Hi, my name is Frank Valentic and welcome to Advantage Properties video market update. It's been again a busy time in the real estate market, and there's been a lot of press about the foreign investors and Chinese buyers, and there's some interesting news where the government is talking about introducing a premium visa for overseas investors in July next year, which will make it easier for them to buy Australian property, which is not a fantastic move. The local buyers are already struggling, some of them, to get into that premium end of the market. So it'll be interesting to see how that all sort of pans out. The investors are definitely back in force. They were only about 30% when the market bottomed in September 2012, and now they're around 55% of the marketplace, and they're definitely making it very hard for first home buyers to get into the marketplace, and are very, very active at auctions all over Melbourne at the moment. The first home buyers have dropped in numbers from about 22% to their lowest ever levels of about 12%, and unfortunately, since the first homeowner grant was removed last July 2013, the numbers have kept falling further, and they're making it very hard for them to get into the actual marketplace now. The first home buyers are only buying a small amount of property in the inner city, but that's where they really want to live. A survey recently showed that 9.6% only wanted to buy apartments in the CBD and surrounds, but most wanted to buy a small house in the inner suburbs, but unfortunately getting priced out in having to move to outer areas, as the median price, their average price that they're buying at is around $331,000 at the moment, which is making it difficult for them to get into the marketplace. They say property is as safe as houses, and they've just had some studies about the share market and what it's done. And a lot of the big top 20 companies in Australia's share market prices haven't returned to the peak levels of 2007. So over 7 years, a lot of them are still below those levels, whereas the Melbourne property market has tended to be a lot more solid and a lot more consistent over that 7-year period, showing that bricks and mortar is generally a really safe investment for investors. My hotspot tip for this month is Mentone, and again, I'm favouring some of these suburbs that are rippling out in that sort of 10 to 20 kilometre region, and benefiting from the ripple effect of buyers being priced out of more expensive suburbs closer in, such as your Hamptons and Sandringhams, Bay Morrises and Black Rocks, and providing an area like Mentone, which is beachside, an opportunity for buyers to get in at a much more affordable price. Another hotspot area I predict is the area of Northcote, and emerging where the high school zone is now emerging. There isn't a high school zone at the moment, but there is talk that there will be in the future, and this will create some really positive pressure for prices in those areas close to the Northcote High School. We saw a house last week sell in Aberdeen Grove, $1 million reserve sold for nearly $1.4 million, and had strong demand from young families wanting to be close to the high school. And in other areas like McKinnon, Balwyn North, and other areas where the high schools are very dominant, the high school zones, we're seeing about a 20 to 30% premium being paid for properties that are inside the zone versus outside. So a great opportunity for people to get in and potentially benefit from an emerging high school zone in the future. Property investment is all about the three golden rules: location, location, location. We saw that with a block of flats recently in Willis Street in Glen Iris, which is a beautiful Art Deco renovated block, but unfortunately the wrong location, directly opposite a train line, and had no one bidding and no interest in that property. We had another block of Art Deco apartments in Park Street, South Yarra, which was unrenovated. Most of them didn't have parking, most of them didn't have outdoor areas, but the location itself sold those properties, and the prices of $734,000 for a one-bedroom unrenovated apartment definitely set a record. So you can change a property and you can add value and renovate, but you unfortunately can't change a property's location. So location is the thing that underpins the property's value and is the most important factor. And Melbourne is continued to grow in terms of the prices, and we've seen in the last quarter alone 4 new suburbs enter Melbourne's what we call $1 million club. There's now 56 suburbs in Melbourne that have a median price of $1 million plus. And those 4 suburbs that have just entered the club are Doncaster, Templestowe, Murrumbeena and Glen Waverley. And just showing that Melbourne's prices keep moving upwards, and unfortunately now $1 million is not buying as much, with the median price in Melbourne around $650,000. Thank you for listening to our Advantage Fortnightly Market Update. We look forward to chatting to you next time. Until next time, happy investing.